there is a good outcome and there are just some failed experiments. That's it. There is nothing else that I see right now. I was clearly never been rejected so much more in my life, like in the last 8 months, for instance, because anywhere I would go, literally, it could be a hairdresser, it could be some restaurant, places that I used to go almost every single day or every month. I would be just stopped in the entrance and being asked, hey, please show us your vaccination certificate. And I had to just back up because I didn't have one. And it wasn't my choice that I didn't have a full certificate, because in my case, something went wrong. Nobody can diagnose it. I can't get exemption. I'm the one who just half vaccinated. And again, it just the situation was completely bizarre. And again, I started to lose my social circle because everyone after the lockdown started to kind of resume their life. They started to go to the hairdressers, they started to go to restaurants, they were able to go on a train wherever they wanted, and I was just stuck. I was really stuck. And the problem here was that I didn't even know the reason I was stuck. I was shocked that it's like being guilty for something that you've never committed. And anywhere I would even try to go, I would be faced with the same words, like, please show us your vaccination certificate. And of course, a couple of times I just gave it a go and I decided to explain that, hey, I'm not against anything. I did one shot. I was pointing that things will go right for me, but it just didn't go right. And no one can tell me what's going on. I'm suffering from these neurological issues. And this is not my choice. I would be happy to get 2-3 shots. And if the situation was a bit different, everything is fine. But you can imagine nobody could believe me. So all of the security guards, all of the personnel, they just had to follow the protocol. So this is how my life started to really degenerate quite much from my normal lifestyle. So as you can imagine, people that used to call me and then say, hey, we can go hiking, we can go somewhere else, they just literally, they were doing in the circles of those that received 2 shots. And I was just locked in my 10 kilometers area, which was very crazy. So believe it or not, I couldn't leave my local LGA, which is area of concern, that what house was labeled. And for instance, I couldn't even take a train to go outside of 10 kilometers. So if somebody stops me and takes my documents and they see that I'm actually from further than 10 kilometers from the area I was, they would ask me for my certificate, and I just don't have certificate, so I would just get a fine. And it was absolutely crazy situation. I still can't believe it happened to me. I can't believe that it happened to so many people around that just didn't. It's not our choice. This is the scariest part. It's like, and nobody wants to understand the situation. I was called lazy. I was called, again, the person that just doesn't want to do it. And any time that I wanted to explain that, hey, I got this real problem, I really don't know what's going on, I spent thousands of dollars going to doctors, I can show you my muscles twitches after the shot, and I can show you other people that developed the same, and I'm happy if it worked for you, but it just didn't work for me, I would still get rejection almost anywhere. So it was absolutely mad. I feel like I developed the PTSD on this phrase, because I really felt that the whole world, in my world, has been divided by 2 categories. So the first one, people with a certificate, and those that don't have certificate, which is minority, and I was a part of this minority. And again, as I said before, in a time of the acceptance, diversity, inclusion, when I couldn't access just the basic needs, when I was actually walking with like 6 months of hair on my head, I had long hair, and I couldn't make a haircut because no one would allow me without the certificate. I just couldn't believe it. That was absolutely crazy. Again, social life completely stopped. I mean, I had my own quirks and features, of course, like I didn't have like absolutely amazing social life, but at least I could go hiking with someone, at least I could go again, just beach walk, etc. But I was locked for 10 kilometers area. And again, if someone would ask me for permission for my certificate, I can't show it, that's it, I'm just getting fined. So this is absolutely bizarre. And this is when I really understood that, I don't know, all of the rules are completely broken. There is absolutely, like, all of this situation is very biased. No one really wants to pay attention to that minority that got it wrong. Like, I would just say it's your problem and you just have to enjoy what you have. I'm very thankful that just since I think December of the last year, things drastically improved. So thankfully I'm not being asked for this in most of the places. Of course, I still can't travel. I can't go overseas if I want to. I can't go for vacation, etc. Like, I just have to stay in my own state. Otherwise, yeah, I just don't know. I have to pay for the quarantine for 2 weeks, etc. So, which is a bit ridiculous, but I mean, these are the rules. And honestly, for me, it was really hard to believe that this situation could happen in our century, so that people are so much divided. And for many of us, it's not even our choice, right? So such a negligence from the medical field, such a negligence from, I just don't know, all of the regulation entities. This was absolutely crazy. So you can imagine that all of my friends were just walking around, they were just getting on trains, on cars, going hiking, restaurants, movies, and I had to stay at home. I just had to stay at home. I had the long hair. Last time, again, restaurant, I've never been to restaurant. I haven't been to restaurant for like the last, again, half a year or something. Of course, I could do a takeaways, but again, this is expensive, and I mostly had to take the orders from this 10 kilometers area, which is a bit crazy. And yeah, this was what I found really bizarre, and I'm sure that there are much more people in this situation, but in my mind, it's just like this whole idea of, are you eligible? I'm sorry, we can't help you. You need to be fully vaccinated. Where is your certificate? Oh, I'm sorry, you have just one shot, which means that you are not considered to be fully vaccinated. And I was literally bombarded by this phrase almost anywhere. I felt like every single time someone tells me this phrase, it's like, it's my defeat. Like, I can't proceed anywhere else. It's just like, it was a life divided by those who have it and those who don't have it, like myself. And honestly, this time just showed me that all of this idea of equality, inclusion, etc. is very biased. When this kind of situation comes, society is very happy to be divided by let's just say, this imaginary, not imaginary fronts, the one that again has something and the one that doesn't. And well, since the time, again, I completely changed my mindset. I see that this situation can happen, and well, I'm really happy that it doesn't happen as much now. But looking at countries like Canada, I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. Again, reading the stories like Subhajit, the previous one, when the person was fired from his workplace because he couldn't get exemption, because he was feeling sick. And I, like myself, like the one who is sick after the shot, can understand him, and he was just fired. So there is absolutely no compassion, nothing. I'm really hoping that it's going to be acknowledged in the future. I'm really hoping that everyone will get compensation, especially those that lost their jobs. This is like 100%. And the most important one is the treatment, so that we'll get an idea of what's going wrong, how to treat it, and hopefully it's not going to be too late. So this is basically my really bad memories of bad attitude that completely destroyed the normal life, completely separated you, at least myself and other people, from the reality. And all of this is getting completely gaslighted. Again, no one wants to talk about that. It's just like there is a good outcome and there are just some failed experiments. That's it. There is nothing else that I see right now. This is the response. So I hope that in future it's going to get changed.